Okay. What a day. What a night last night. So here we are on Tuesday morning, and we can see that we had that yesterday, Monday, was an absolute cracker. It has fallen through with the selling pressure of America last night, broke through all these daily liquidity zones, smashed through this daily imbalance, and was pushed, broke through and rejected from the daily liquidity grab of 58,780. So it went as low as 58,460, but has come back up and sat back above the imbalance. And now today we found a little bit of positive movement, but it's definitely come through. And in the middle of that imbalance was also the 0.786 Fibonacci retracement of this entire move, of this impulse up, has come down and rejected. So let's just give a bit of a tidy up. So let's tidy up all these to make it a little bit cleaner, so we can sort of focus on what we're looking at. This protected low, like I mentioned yesterday, was only like a superficial, because that was the current low that we were facing, which is now the low down here. But we're just focusing on those protected highs, protected lows on the hourly level. So we'll fix that when we get down to the lower time frame. Alright, so this one has been fulfilled. And then while we're here, let's create a new daily liquidity grab. So that's an area where there's still buying pressure and stop orders. So buy orders and buy stops placed there should price come back to retest. So I am still thinking that we are going to sweep this low, because there is a bucket load of orders stopped in through here. But we will move on down to the lower time frames, just have a look, and then we'll work out our daily bias for Tuesday. Alright, so there is a bucket load to tidy up. It's a really nice rejection if you watch these three candles. Very strong bearish, a massive wick, bullish, and we've just moved to higher prices, which is a really nice, really strong rejection. And what we always see is fast moves up, fast moves down, and if there's a fast move down, then there's a fast move up. There's often a little bit of consolidation, but this one has really fallen and then come back up. Oh, let's just make a note up here where we have these imbalances. So we've got an imbalance between this candle and this candle. And then we also have an imbalance between this candle and, well, there is no imbalance there, is there? But let's just go back down onto a lower time frame, back down to the hourly, and see where that sits. So yeah, so we've got prices come down, bounced off, and that was between 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock yesterday, where we were talking last, and then basically came up, grabbed a little bit of liquidity, but there was so much selling pressure, it just shot through. So we can see that there is definitely just a mini liquidity zone there, and that's definitely going to be smashed. That's going to be taken out. Well and truly. So that price is just coming up, and it's just going to fill that imbalance. I'm still looking at this as a liquidity grab zone, so I don't want to change that. So let's do a quick note here. So while this is our protected high, This is our protected low. If we were to form the Fibonacci retracement from the low up to the high of that move, we can see that our 618 is sitting just above that imbalance. Just above that imbalance, which is really nice. So I think that it's going to be a really strong area of resistance where this price has fallen, rejected, left that liquidity grab and has fallen away. I'm just going to put a zone just for the sake of note. I still want to take that liquidity grab at the top of this point of interest, but I just want to have that for peace of mind that that is the area that I'm actually looking at. So I'll get rid of that 618. And so that's an area where I think we're going to find a lot of selling pressure once again. I don't think we're going to take this. I don't think we're going to take this daily imbalance out. Not this time, but maybe. So let's just wait and see. Alright, so we can see that the Awesome Oscillator is negative and bullish. We can see that the SMIO is positive and bullish, which is a really strong sign. I wouldn't enter long here until I could get the SMIO closer down to the zero line, but it's definitely putting us into a case that should the Awesome Oscillator, let's use this, should the Awesome Oscillator give us a curve and start to descend downwards, that would be a case that I would want to start to look for shorts. And I could anticipate that this will start getting filled with the histogram as this comes up towards this area of shorting point of interest. So let's just wait and see how that plays out. But that is my bias. I'm expecting for price to come up into this purple zone up to this level of resistance around 62,200 and 63,000. So 62,200 and 63,000 is where I'm expecting price to go tonight over the next 24 hours. There's nothing really down here as an area of liquidity. This is really a single candle just there, but there's not enough structure to warrant a lot of interest for me just there around the 786. Okay, I guess price has come down, it hit the 786, it rejected, it broke through, it pushed up, it rested. Maybe it's definitely an area of bullishness, I guess. You know, we could see that, you know, in this area just there. Let's just change it to, I guess if we look at that, in this zone we've had one red, two blue, so one bearish, two bullish, one bearish, one bullish, one bearish, one bullish. So really we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 bullish candles versus 3 bearish candles. So it is a little more, but I don't find that an area that I would strongly bet the farm for. Something else to look at is, let's get back into the daily. And we can see since Friday, we really haven't increased market cap of USDT. So there's not a lot more money coming into the market. So while we saw Bitcoin flush out since Friday, the price has flushed out. Total 3 has been relatively stable, and while yesterday was a massive flush out, there was a rejection, there was a flush out, and a rejection. So the rest of the market seemed to have absorbed Bitcoin's loss in prices. So everyone moved price to riskier assets by the look of it. But that was just something interesting I wanted to make a note of for myself. So let's look at Bitcoin. So let's just put together our bias for today. All right, let's go Tuesday bias. Tuesday bias. So Monday, strong bearish candle, wick rejected, to close above 0.786. No 1 hour liquidity no 1 hour liquidity long zones. Oh, my hair doing up there. Alright, so now the AO is negative and bearish and steady. The SMIO divergence is not occurring, so the SMIO does give more false alerts, because yesterday was looking like it was starting to be divergent, but with Monday's candle it clearly showed otherwise. So that's why we also use the Awesome Oscillator at the same time. It just gives us a longer term time frame to measure against. So we've got one which is like a long constant move, and then the other one gives us like short sharp entries. And obviously if you took every entry then you would be losing too much money. So let's look at the SMIO. So SMIO is negative. Strong bearish. So obviously we can't include Tuesdays because it is only 3 hours old, but we can't get it off the chart just yet. What do we got here? No, that's news, not important. It'll be interesting to see if anything is happening in the US. Let's just do a quick check on the NAS 100. Let me see if there's any reports coming up. GDP growth rate. Nothing that I don't think will make too much of an impact. In fact, everything makes an impact. Probably a lot of this came out from the NVIDIA, came off a really high top, but it's something that we can obviously look everywhere, but we can also just deal with the chart that is presented to us today. So we can try and predict from other charts, or we can just respond to what we're seeing here. Neither way is right or wrong, but sometimes if we need a little bit more context, a bit more confluence in our decision, but I think this is pretty steady. We're still seeing this as a bearish sign. Generally, after a massive wick like this, we may see a little bit further downside, or we may see a slight rejection, or just a pause just for the market to catch a breath. Much that we see with these two candles. There's a lot of movement down, there's a pause, and then it comes back up. We see a big move down, a pause, another inside candles within that wick, and just a touch. So I'm looking to see that this might be a little bit bullish today, but we can't go past, I don't think, that 618 zone. I think that that support will be turning into resistance, and that point of interest between the 62,200 and 63,000 is going to be our level of resistance for the coming day or two. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks guys, talk soon.